A shepherd, keeping watch over his sheep near the shore, saw the sea very calm and smooth, and longed to make a voyage with a view to commerce. He sold all his flock, invested it in a cargo of dates, and set sail. But a very great tempest came on, and the ship being in danger of sinking, he threw all his merchandise overboard, and barely escaped with his life in the empty ship. Not long afterwards, when someone passed by and observed the unruffled calm of the sea, he interrupted him and said, "It is again in want of dates, and therefore looks quiet." This is Giami Journey Radio. I'm your host, Brother Hatim, and this is a Heart of a Symbol Productions. Where we strive to blow up your paradigm. Now, I was just reading The Shepherd and the Sea, one of Aesop fables, and I'm using the translation by George Fowler Townsend. Of course, it's by Aesop, and it's a very informative story. Now, these stories, man, like I say all the time, these stories are not just for grown folks. There is a powerful lesson in it. All we have to do is pay attention. But before I get into the story, I've been away for a while, and I've been watching a lot of movies. I've been doing a lot of research, and I'm finding the importance of stories to people and to cultures. Stories are the foundation of cultures. We get our history, we get our morals, we get our lessons from the stories that our elders tell. And if our elders are not telling the stories, if our parents are not telling the stories, then where do we get all of our information so that we could pass on to future generations? Right now, there's this thing called media. One of the big pieces is in Hollywood, and we have these record companies that are all producing modern day fables. And unfortunately, a lot of fables that's coming out of these places are not meant to move you towards your higher self, move you towards the best life that you can live. All right, so now let's get into The Shepherd and the Sea. So we have a shepherd who who is inspired to go to sea. He looks upon the calm sea, and he hungers. He has a desire to go out into the sea and takes up trade. So he goes and get dates. Now, for those that don't know, dates are a dried fruit, and it's like they look like little seeds. They're brown, and they're pretty sweet. So he was going to take the dates out and look for foreign lands and sell the dates. But fortune would have it that he got caught up in a storm, and in getting caught up in the storm, he had to get rid of the dates. Now, this is the lesson. He barely escaped with his life. He made it back to shore, and he was looking upon the calm sea. And he equated the calm sea with the sea wanting more dates. He did not learn the lesson that was there for him. How many of us go through life and bad things happen to us, and we automatically start attributing the bad thing to the wrong thing? This individual attributed the calm, the storm, as the sea wanting his dates, rather than the sea just having a storm and he got caught at the wrong time. Maybe he set sail during the wrong time because he was new at sailing. He didn't know that maybe it was a storm time. Maybe he went the wrong direction. Who knows? But he was inexperienced at sea travel. So he tried to get out and do something new. And rather than getting the lesson, he didn't get the lesson. He got a lesson, but it was the wrong lesson. How many of us are making life choices and life decisions on wrong information or wrong feedback? We got, rather than looking at it as failure, we looked at it as feedback, but the feedback that we picked up is wrong. His feedback is wrong. He thinks that the sea wants more dates, so it's calm. So the next person that comes, that goes out there with dates, there's going to be a storm. That's superstition. And he's missing the lesson. He's missing the powerful piece here. See, because we all want to try something new. And a lot of times when we do something new, the first couple of times we're going to fail. I mean, some of us are lucky enough to try something new and it succeeds and it blows up. But this man tried something new and it failed. It went bad. As a matter of fact, he almost lost his life. But he did not get the full lesson. He got a piece of the lesson. And that piece of the lesson, he's structuring his life on it. Now he thinks the sea is just waiting to take some dates from somebody else. And for all we know, he may become a dream killer, because some of us take our feedback, we look at it wrong, and then we become dream killers. He's a dream killer. He's sitting on the beach looking at the sea, talking about, hey, the sea is going to storm if you go out there. It's just hungry for more dates. You know what I'm saying? It's a funny story, but when you think about it, it illustrates some people's lives. Some people are giving the wrong things power. This dude thinks that the sea wants dates, and that's incorrect. The sea has good days and the sea has bad days. It has absolutely nothing to do with dates. It has absolutely nothing to do with the sea's hunger or desire to have the sweet fruit. What it has to do with is unknown to this man, because he's not exploring. He's not going beyond his limited understanding. He's not talking to other people who have been out on the sea and who have been successful at it. Now, as I constantly talk about, far as nation building warriorship, it's always good to have a coach. It's always good to have a mentor. It's always good to have somebody that you can depend on to give you good advice. This man failed, and he just decided that he's going to live on his limited knowledge. And with this limited knowledge, when other people walk by and may have the same fantasy as he has, as taken to the sea, he kills their dream. You know what I'm saying? How many of us have become dream killers because we're going on incorrect information? How many of us know people in our lives that are dream killers because they have the wrong information? We don't need to be dream killers, and we need to get away from them, especially when there's limited knowledge. This man is actually believing. Think about this. He's believing that the sea wants dates. It sounds silly, but then I ask you, explore some of your own beliefs. What are some of your limited beliefs that are messing up your lives and maybe messing up the lives of your children? We got to be bold enough to look at this. Now, this old story, talking about the sea, talking about sheep, talking about boats made out of wood that can be blown over by a storm. This ancient story still drops knowledge. This is why I call it crystallized wisdom. This is why I call it wisdom mining, because we got to get down into it. Because most of us would look at this story and be like, oh, that's a fairy tale for kids. But is it really? Is it really? Or is it something that's revealing important truths that we need to identify for ourselves so that we can live the best life? Once again, this is Giami Journey. I am Brother Hatim, and this is a Heart of a Symbol Productions. I'd like to thank you for listening and being patient with me as I go through remodeling my life so that I could bring you the best quality shows that I can. So Check me out at www.giamijourney.com. Also, make sure you download the app. And with that, Brother Hatim says peace. And the app is Giami Journey. So you could just go to the Google App Stores, look up Giami Journey, download the app. Check me out at www.giamijourney.com. And also check out some of my other radio shows. And with that, I'm out.